Yo, I have yet to post the video that I made this night, but watching it, I realized that there were some things, sometimes it happens that after you say one thing, it's like ready to say the next thing. Okay. So in the last video, I was talking about codependency, and I didn't really finish talking about trust. And I just realized, and I want you to really know that these are my experiences, and I care very much about whether this is going to be helpful for you, for anyone watching this, and to know that I I am a very specific person. You might see, like I said, I'm a 1-3 profile in human design. I'm a generator. I have a lot of energy. I can find energy when I want it. When I feel enthusiastic about anything, I can just find energy for it. So I just want you to know that you might be totally different, and that's totally fine. And it's like, I want to hear the data from other people that are experiencing this, so that we can, like, by exchanging data, like our experiences, we can find out what actually works for other people, so the people coming later can look and be like, oh, okay, that suits me most. So just now I was reading a Facebook post of a friend. She she's a therapist, and she helps a lot of people with trauma like incest. And of course that brings about codependency in a whole like quite a high level, right? And I am not experienced, as far as I know, in that kind of trauma. And I also then would probably not be able to talk to what would be good for such a person to know. So, whenever you watch any information, just have a check-in before you take in advice, and start doing that to figure, well, does this feel right for me? All right, having said that, so one thing about... I'm just gonna jump in, okay? So I was saying codependency really needs, like, after becoming aware of that, if you have this going on in your life, that you really do need to take action. And I want to let you know, like, something about how codependency can feel to other people, and you might recognize this, is that it feels sticky. That's how I notice it. I must say that every time I say these things, it also kind of goes with that I realize that all of the water signs in astrology, like, I'm a Cancer rising, I have a moon conjunct Neptune. Those two things make me, in some ways, naturally a little bit sticky. Sticky in the sense of clingy. Like, I like to touch the people who are close to me. I like to feel really close to them. I'm quite emotional naturally. I like to hug people. It's that part of my character is a challenge for me to navigate, while, like, discerning out what is the codependency part. But yeah, so if you experience conflict with people, then have a look and see if people are saying you're coming too close into my personal space. Because often when you have codependency, you'll have, like, in some instances, you'll actually be the one who is crossing other people's boundaries. So in my experience, I was crossing other people's boundaries in wanting to take care of them, wanting them to feel safe when even there was no reason why I should be doing that. Maybe I was being so careful. There were people who were just becoming very impatient. I now actually choose friendships and situations that feel safe and warm to me, And because I know I'm the kind of person that in this stage of my growth, who knows for how long, in this stage, I am someone that if other people are, if my friends can reflect back to me like, you're saying this one thing, or you're bringing up these or these things, but actually I feel like, are you passing yourself by? Are you really expressing your needs? Are you not like abandoning yourself in this moment? And that really helps me to take a step back and feel, and to know that the person there cares about me enough to give me that space, and to also change anything that might need to be changed. So these are the kind of choices that you can make, but it only comes kind of naturally when you're already intentional about what you're doing. And there's a lot of other things about manifestation and how your system manifests energy, and to do that more efficiently. There's some aspects in human design that I'm very, very passionate about, that I've been practicing. And I want to have a practice community. So if you would want that, then yeah, figure out how you can let me know. Once it starts going, I'll be more vocal about it, and I'll let you know how you can join. But for now, yeah, I've manifested friendships in the last 6 months. It's just given me a lot of trust. So the trust thing is, for me, that I had to switch from like worrying, which was something maybe that I was doing naturally for 95% of the time, unless I was telling myself, wait, do you actually need to worry? So now in one of my daily routine things that don't feel stressful, it's kind of on my to-do list, but I don't, yeah, it's not something that I pressure myself with. But I know that I really have a need to remind myself that trust is a word that it would trigger me in the past. And every time I'd feel into trust, like, what does trust mean to me? It would trigger me. I could only feel it for a second, and then I would feel, yeah, it just was painful to know that I don't naturally trust. Like, there were things that I do trust in, like in my ability to have optimism. Yeah, some of the things that I have learned through all of the ways that I cope with life, there I have very strong, character things that I can also now put to use as a skill. And there I trust myself. Yeah, sure, I can do that. I'm really good at some things. But knowing that I'm in my life putting out a signal that is attracting good things to me, I really need the quality of trust for that, so that I can slow down, so that I'm not so that I'm not feeling hopeless and just clinging to things for dear life, so that I'm understanding times when I'm just really stressed and out of pattern. Yeah, not being trusting. And yeah, so I was saying in the last video also that I will supplement qualities and try to remember them, instead of telling myself I have to change myself to be this other way. So I look for the quality of trust and how I know this to be true in life. And trust for me, for example, has a green color. So in the past years, I I have more and more green color in my environment. I'm someone who picks up a lot of the vibe of my environment. That's a very big factor in how I am, how I'm doing, what kind of energy I have. For me, has a lot to do with the environment, and this is another human design thing. So if you were looking at your human design, I would be able to tell you a few things that I have never seen in human design courses or books. I haven't read a lot, but I do notice that every time I tell someone about these specific things, that they don't know about them. So what I am referring to, if you are into human design, it is your environment, and also your strongest sense would come into this, and it's the arrows above around the head of the body graph. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say for now, because otherwise other people would be like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. But if you want to know about those, that's what I'm going to set a community up around for us to practice all together, because then you can really align your energy. And it takes a long time, because it's like theory, and then you want to understand how it works in your body, and just let your body like give you a lot of biofeedback and change very slowly, so that you're not upsetting your nervous system. So when I started taping this, the thing was that I found important is that coming from codependency, I felt like there's a kind of stickiness to that, like this clinginess, this, if I would describe it as a natural feature, then it's like a swamp. If you're into like yin and yang energy and seeing it like that, it's like the yin energy in its detriment. It's it's getting so bogged down in the water that you're actually not moving, and things are festering in this swampy pool, and it's just things are rotting, and yeah. That sounds like you wouldn't want to be there, right? And this is like how I'm experiencing codependency, as also this place where this idea of being nice to everyone is can be a very unhealthy thing, and wanting everyone to be kind and not giving people, yeah, like, okay, so I had a situation that I saw. uh, it was like one person being super kind to everyone in a group, and everyone was always giving this person kudos for like, wow, yeah, you're so kind. And I just started getting a really nauseous feeling, like, this is going overboard. Like, this person doesn't have to be that kind. They don't have, they can spend like 1/10 of the time they are spending on being kind to everyone, and like the whole feeling would still be like she's kind, but at least it's fresh. you know like, we're not all giving each other like shoulder rubs and saying, oh, you're so kind, oh, you're so kind, like, you don't deserve anything bad happening to you. And actually, this person does create, through passive aggression, that's how I see it anyway, that's my perspective, that other people kind of get really like, oh my God, please, I am not asking you to help me. Just please, just leave me alone, and getting actually very unkind reactions, and people getting a little angry because they're like, it's so sticky, it's so like clingy, it's so like, ugh, get off of me, like, get a life. you know I know I'm making it really, this is like my emotion about it. So I have noticed that there are people who have like, who are very, very fiery around me. I have seen like they can get a bit like, you. Like, I got it, Joan. You're kind. Yeah, I got it. Can we now move on to the next subject? You don't need to prove to everyone that you're a good person. You can be a good person and you don't need to prove it. So what I have noticed in my 2 baby steps that I have taken in releasing codependency is that it brings a lot of freshness to the whole atmosphere, and other people can kind of relax, and they might even feel like they could get attacked for just being more of themselves, taking up more space, as is healthy. And they might feel like, oh, this person who is being overly kind might not be able to handle what I have to say if I'm just going to be myself, if I'm just going to be honest. So this is another thing, that if you're missing assertiveness, other people might not feel safe around you to be assertive. And they might just kind of shy away and be like, yeah, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with that person who just needs to be good all the time. So if you are the one who is taking these action steps and becoming more assertive, then you will find that there's a lot more freshness in your life. You're able to let things that actually don't really matter, to let them go. You're not in this stinky, rotting stagnant place. And things start moving, okay? You might not be used to it, so yeah, it might take a while for you to acclimatize to more freshness, more change, different kinds of situations coming through. My therapist calls it like, when you're in codependency, you're in a certain pool of relationships. You're that pool is a mixed bag. There's people who want you to stay there. There's people who are like you. There's people who I don't know, all kinds of things. And this is like a really stagnant place. You might get even like a lot of bodily infections, like not having enough fresh air. That is like one way that we get infections, right, in our body. I'm not trying to tell you that it's your fault if you're getting, all these kinds of issues in your body. I'm just giving you suggestions. Like, if you feel like, ooh, this is really describing a lot of symptoms and a lot of situations in my life, then, maybe put a comment here and start, reflecting and seeing if there are things that you can take action on. And keep following or something, or watch some other videos. I don't know, but there are ways, there are things you can do. You have agency. You can start writing about it, start videoing about it, do what works for you. I would look at your astrology and say, wow, this is what would be most suitable to you. But I don't know who you are, so, get in touch. Let me see here. I took some notes because I talk a lot. So, yes, I told you about, I choose now people who are a lot more sensitive, who are able to sense into me and just help me like voice things that I might not be saying. These people can actually often feel like something's off, and they love me, and they're like, Joan, something's off. You don't have to take care of everyone. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you, friend. Trust, yeah. By taking these actions, I trust myself more. I understand now that I can change things in my reality. I can change things in my life. I'm just in a process. Things will get better and better. I can have more and more happiness. I also look back and look at my life in the context of codependency, and there's a psychological burden that has come, and baggage that has come from so many years of codependency. I can't right now express all of it, but certainly there is this behavior of, I'm a good person. Anyone who's not being kind is not being a good person. There is, leading from that, there's a lot of judgment and like a lot of ways of being that are coming from the situation of being stuck in that, in that swamp, in all those emotions that were not going anywhere, that you're not able to solve. There's no freshness, there's nothing actually happening. And so the psychology of this can be much like associated with imprisonment. You know, it can be things like jealousy, like not being able to handle anyone else having it better, because it would feel like now I feel so hopeless. Like I'm not getting out of this situation. I have to get there's apps coming in. Like I'm not able to progress, and so I actually can't handle it when other people are having a good life or happy or progressing to places where I don't even know if I can get there. So that kind of thing can make me can make it very hard for me to be excited for other people. Yeah, a lot of hopelessness can come from that. A lot of, like, because I'm trying so hard to have a nice life, and I'm like all of those years of like looping back on myself and just feeling like getting more and more hopeless, this can also come with codependency. That is my experience. So taking action and coming, so my therapist was saying there's this one pool that you're in, and the relationships that you're able to attract are within that one pool. So once you start moving out of codependency and taking action and taking care of your own emotions as they come up, or having, the right kind of people and environment that will actually support you making those steps, then you're able to like move up into a higher kind of pool of people that will hold you accountable to really different things. And that's what I'm basically doing. I'm kind of happy that I don't actually have any relationship, like a love relationship, because I'm like, wow, I have so much to work through, and to be the kind of person that takes up the space that is respectful to myself, so that someone else is like, yeah, I can respect you, I can see you, I can see who you are, and I like it. Instead of attracting, for example, the person that I dated, who on the one hand was really a lovely person. Like, of course, it's a complex situation, right? But on the other hand was someone who was, so this is just my opinion, who really needed me in this instance to keep on like feeding their ego of, you're okay, you're all right, I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna, I think you're amazing, even though, and like not hold them accountable to really the kind of communication that they were expressing to me, and actually not giving very much space to other communication. But maybe this person is just really sensitive to, like, that they only respond clearly if the other person is actually clear about their needs. Maybe I wouldn't know that because I wasn't that person. So I only met this person in the version of what I was. And that created just a lot of pain, and in a way it could have been re-traumatizing for me in any case, but perhaps for this person as well. So I have responsibility there too, although, it's really important to me to also not go overboard with that. Yeah. Okay. Do I have anything here? Stickiness, freshness, build trust in yourself. Yeah, you will start loving and trusting yourself so much more. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. I have here rolling through life. now I'm more in the driver's seat and I choose to be in the driver's seat. So that's the thing with codependency that I noticed. Even though I thought that I was choosing to be in the driver's seat, that's really like in some way part of my personality structure is to be in the driver's seat. But the thing about what I notice about all the ways that I was actually being codependent, those were places where I didn't feel power in myself to take action. And so in a way, in my relationships, it was just like a hit and miss. And I think I've been lucky with the partnerships that I've had, because I don't know, like some of them have been really good, and like I've grown a lot from them. But honestly, there's a part of it is that just rolling with the punches, just, like being a river and just letting other things in life, situations, people decide how you're gonna roll. And you're just like reacting. It's like, it's just coming automatically. I don't think there's necessarily something wrong with that, except if it's having negative effects, like from codependency. And I wasn't actually able to hold any anchor. And if someone asked, like, why did you do that? Why did you just say yes to that when you now it turns out that you didn't want that? So for me to be able to say no was actually, it was super far away. It didn't feel like I was able at that time. And so just so you know, I'm 43. So I'm telling you this at a middle age or something. I don't know if that's it, but yeah, rolling through life. And now by starting to tackle codependency, I am trying to put myself in the driver's seat so that I can actually take more responsibility of the effect that my energy is having on other people. Those were a lot of words. It is, I feel, a very special thing in this life, to be able to develop the capacity to take the wheel of your life. I'm like this. I don't want to tell people that you must do this, because maybe you're just not able to. I wasn't able to for a long time, so I don't want you to start to feel bad. I have had a very punishing inner world, and that would, if I heard someone saying this, it would make me feel really bad that I'm not able to do those things yet. And I feel a little like emotional about that, because good advice shouldn't push you further into pain. So I hope that you can feel in some way that wherever you are at and that you're listening to this, like, just take your time, please. Please take your time and love yourself, and know that any moment that you are able will be right on time. And if you're feeling bad, then just remember that it's probably because you want to be able to sit in the driver's seat of your life. And of course, for people who are able, then great. We understand each other. But let's be compassionate. Yeah. And I feel like people wanting to step into the driver's seat is, you know, a really important first step. And just keep remembering that while you grow your self-trust, while you grow your energy to be able to do that. Because it seems like the more each person is stepping into their own driver's seat of their personality, the more they are able to take responsibility of their own energy, the less in the world we will have these expressions of other people and groups and entities having control over us. It's not in like, I feel like the more we evolve, the less need there is for so much conflict. When we take responsibility to know how to handle conflict well, to see the potential for growth in every conflict situation. So yeah, I might be saying too much now, but honestly, it does help me to know that every situation could be something that I potentially do better than the last time. And so I could be excited at every challenge that comes my way and every conflict, because I feel like it was probably already in my field, and now is just the time that it's asking me to act on it. And so I have this trust that life is in divine timing, according to what I am able to handle, showing me what now can be up-leveled, and that I get to be and experience and explore what it is to be human and to be fallible and to be vulnerable, and yet to strive for, yeah, what people would call supernatural heights and to work miracles. And I know that's a tall order and a big thing to say, but I really feel that for people who are super sensitive and who just feel so much that that we're really living in a special time, and I in my life for sure have seen miracles, and I believe in them. I believe they're very natural, and that we've kind of been duped into thinking that we're not all that, but that it does really boil down to what we're willing to take responsibility for, and the bigness of that, and balancing that with I can only do so much at a time, and I also get to enjoy it, to enjoy this thing. I don't have to rush to get there, but every opportunity will come my way. All right, thank you for watching this, and bless your hearts. Yeah, see you next time. Bye.